I was wanting to do something that was interesting to me, and it's a topic that's going to be really controversial to some degree. The difference between drugs and medicine, and the confusion on it. Because we were taught that drugs were certain things. I mean, definition of by scientific terms is anything that affects the body. The mind is a drug, which means even caffeine is a drug. But despite what they really try to press upon us, a lot of things that we were taught were drugs are not. A lot of things we were taught are medicine are absolutely worse for you than the natural stuff. See, Big Pharma makes millions of dollars off of all these medicines you take. They're supposedly not bad for you, including these things like Klonopin and Valium that 90% of the country seems to be on, from what I can understand. Which I don't see why everybody needs all this stuff. But smoking a joint is bad. I mean, but, and yeah, smoking a joint is probably the worst way to absorb THC. But, it is not a drug, it is natural. Hawa said all good green things were good for you. All green plants were good for you. And marijuana is mentioned tons of times in the Bible as something they use on a normal basis. But most people will take Klonopin, heart pills, and all this stuff, but wouldn't take a plant that would do the exact same thing for you. And there are plants that do everything that we have medicine for. There are plant mixtures that are all natural that will fix everything in your body. I mean, Pressure John root and stuff like that is actually good for your heart. They say that red cedar needles cooked down for a week and then filtered off. Of course, everything, even natural stuff, you gotta watch. You can't OD on it. Um, will actually increase your life. You look at the fact that if you really look at it, almost everything that happened in the Bible happened over here. That's why a lot of people believe that Utah is Judah, and debatable. Some place over here is what if it's Peru or Texas or whatever, is Jerusalem, and that the Egypt absolutely was over here. There's more pyramids over here than there are over there. I mean, there's like I think 4 or 5 here in Arkansas. But when you really get into it, the Native Americans knew a lot. They know that, and the ancients still, the ones that still practice the old ways, still do all the old stuff, including using plants for medicine. But getting somebody to talk to you if you're an outsider on actually what to do would probably be something else altogether. But you got to look at how they do their rituals, because they still ritually use ayahuasca to get in touch with the spirits. Hawa is the great spirit, as they say in all these films. That's why they say many moons, because each change of the moon is a month. You got four moon changes every month. The new moon, the first quarter, the full moon, the third quarter, and then back to the new moon. That's a month. That was the original months. That's why it's called a new moon, because it's a new month. But people look at things weird, like they told you marijuana was a drug. And yes, it's illegal in this country, but it's not a drug. It is safer than cigarettes, although they're legal. And even tobacco's not bad if you're smoking like a pipe a day, not a pack a day. I mean, there's a difference, and everything is good in moderation. Well, most everything is good in moderation. I mean, these man-made drugs are not good in moderation either. I mean, but everything natural is good in moderation. Everything in obsession is bad for us. Even good things. You have to have food to live, but if you eat all the time, you become obese and you end up in bad health. Sleep is great, but if you sleep all the time, you break down your body and you end up in bad health. Drinking wine, which is a natural occurrence in nature, is okay, but drinking a bottle a day is probably not good for you. And smoking weed is okay. Smoking lots of weed is probably not good for you. And taking magic mushrooms and ayahuasca and poppy and coca and stuff without the mixes of stuff they do to things, not the derivatives, not the man-made crap, but the original stuff, is probably not bad for you. Mad honey is probably good for you, which is a honey that has a particular kind of stuff from a flower that will actually make you have a hallucinogenic trip. I mean, they tell you magic mushrooms are good for antidepressants and stuff right now, but they don't want you to take the mushrooms. They want you to take the stuff that they made that had nothing to do with the mushrooms. We know that since they started studying marijuana, it was a miracle drug. It actually helps everything. They still rather have you take the synthetic stuff that will kill you than the real thing that will help you. And you break it down into oil, and it is 80% medicinal. It actually will stop seizures, help your appetite, help your skin. I mean, help your eyes. There's lots of good uses for marijuana. A lot of good uses for just about anything natural, but naturally. All these medicines do is get you a good addiction and make it where you have other side effects from most of these medicines. I mean, my grandma used to be on tons of medicine because of different things. All of them gave her side effects. She finally got off of everything except for the painkillers because she had severe rheumatoid arthritis, and she was in major pain. If it wasn't for the fact they were absolute Christians, she probably could have handled that naturally. But that's that believing the enemy over the truth. We were taught by the enemies. I mean, you who taught you the world was round? That you live on a globe? And you go outside and really look, you can see the world's flat. You go up on a mountain, you can see for 20 miles, at least. I can go out to the backside of Dover and I can see to Dardanelle, which is 40 miles off. But by their designs of the curvature of the Earth, I shouldn't be able to see that far because it would drop off. And I can see past that. Not the tops of the mountains, but the bottoms of the mountains. Go out to Ola and I can see the nuclear plant, which is 35 miles away. I go to Hot Springs coming off the mountain and I can see all the way out to Ola or further. Coming off the mountain. I mean, this planet is flat. I mean, if it was, like I've said before, it was spinning from the east to west at 1,100 miles an hour, you could never fly from LA to New York. But you get on a plane, if you can actually get a straight flight from LA to New York, it'll take 3 hours just like it takes from New York to LA. Especially considering the average plane only goes 5 to 700 miles an hour against a planet that's spinning 1,100 miles an hour. You'd never get there. You'd have to go backwards to go forwards. It'd take you 15 hours to get to New York. Because you'd have to come from all the way around the world. And you really gotta make sense of what's being told to you because we're being lied to. And I mean, the world being round doesn't make that big of a difference, but the fact that the world's flat actually makes a big difference because if there is no mass universe, then the fact that aliens actually didn't come from another planet. They were terrestrial. They may come from another dimension, but they're from here. They always came from here. They're the either are the fallen or descendants of the fallen. And the fallen are still here. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But they have lied to us about so many things. It really ought to, like I used to know this Muslim guy. I mean, I still know him, I just hadn't talked to him in a while. And he was actually the one who taught me the difference between religion and faith. I mean, I'm not a Muslim by no degree, but I've never even read the Quran. But I do think it's an interesting book, but I haven't took the time to read it. But he tripped me out because he believed marijuana was bad, he believed opium was bad, but had a regular prescription for Xanax. I believe that was okay. He did eat poppy seeds on occasion when he was home in Pakistan, which he said would give you a good buzz. And I couldn't figure out why some things were good and some things were bad. You know, I mean, I don't think poppy seeds are bad for you. I mean, some things they just don't want you to do because they know what it can do for you. Or like marijuana, they can't control because there's no difference in testing today from a regular smoker smoking a week ago and an hour ago. I mean, I've been sober for several months now, so it doesn't matter in the least. I'm just saying, I mean, I don't see any problem in this stuff. And off of drugs, I've been off drugs for 3 years now. I mean, I don't even take ibuprofen most of the time, or Tylenol. And I mean, I have to be in severe pain to do that. And if I had some natural painkiller, I wouldn't take that stuff. You know, I mean, I almost never take anything like that, anti-inflammatory or anything. Because I know if you take this stuff on a regular basis, your body craves it, and you have to take it on a regular basis. I know a man who takes 3 to 6 ibuprofen a day at least, and part of it is because he takes 3 to 6 ibuprofen a day. And if he has his way, he probably takes closer to 20 a day, but you know, it is what it is. But really pray on things. Talk to Hawa. They do. My mother and father do talk back. Um, Despite what anybody says. My grandpa was a preacher. He used to say that old men have dreams and young men have visions, or vice versa. But I don't remember my dreams. They talk to me directly, either through people, through messages on stuff that you watch, or directly in your head you will hear the voices. And I'm not talking about crazy stuff. I mean, you have thoughts. And every thought in your mind, I believe, good or bad, comes from somewhere. The bad ones are tests to see if we'll do them, and the good ones are to give us good messages. But everybody's entitled to whatever they want to believe. If you have no thoughts, I'm really sorry for you. If you find some blessings, then great. Forget about this luck crap. It's another one of them things they tell us. It's bad luck. Everything is controlled by Hawa. That's why I say we're blessed. That's why I say I'm blessed in a way. I don't know about everybody. And pray, study, figure out truth. Stop letting them lie to you about everything. And always, as always, Allah Hawa, and may you be blessed.